Clark showed up today at the Nike WHQ. Don't know exactly what that is, to be honest. The Nike worldwide headquarters. Okay, that makes more sense. But she has showed up to the Nike worldwide headquarters, and obviously this is one of those, like, she is the massive guest. They're all there.
Caitlin Clark just walked into Nike's world headquarters in Oregon, and the entire place froze. Employees lined the hallways, phones out, applause bouncing off the walls like a championship ceremony. This isn't the kind of welcome you give a second-year WNBA player. It's the kind of reception Nike saves for icons like LeBron James or Serena Williams. And that's exactly why this moment matters. Something has clearly shifted, and there's a very specific reason Clark is being treated like a global superstar right now.
Caitlin at the Nike WHQ. Her arrival. Obviously, when it's Caitlin Clark, they're all clapping her. It's muted right now on your screen, so like, it is what it is. And obviously, promo material shown and given out. So this is the annoying thing about this is why is everything about this talking about worldwide? You can't get anything Caitlin Clark related outside the States. Can't get anything Caitlin Clark related.
Look at the reaction. They're treating her signature logo reveal like a full-scale company product launch. What's especially interesting is the logo itself. When it first dropped, parts of the basketball community said it looked more like a lifestyle brand than a hardcore performance signature. But that's actually the brilliance of it. Nike learned a key lesson from the Sabrina Ionescu line. The shoes didn't just sell to hoopers. They sold to people who wanted clean, wearable sportswear they could live in. Caitlin Clark's logo is built with that same mindset. It's made for t-shirts, hoodies, and jackets. It's designed to be everywhere, on the street, in culture, not just on a basketball court.
The whole Caitlin Clark thing, why they're pushing this right now, is because the shoe's coming soon. This sneaker is going to be revealed soon. So they said spring. I think they said spring. It's meant to be released, I think, in spring of this year. I think if we're being real, like, she's already done the podcast rounds. She was on the Kelsey's podcast. She was on talking about the shoe. She's been doing plenty of things at Nike, playing things with Nike. And there's been so many little things.
This is where Nike strategy gets very calculated. They're rolling out this media blitz now because the shoe reveal is right around the corner. Spring 2025 is the official timeline they've locked in. Caitlin has already made the podcast rounds, including a sit-down with the Kelsey brothers where she talks specifically about the shoe design process. She's been in and out of Nike's headquarters for months, fine-tuning the final details. And there's another layer to this. It explains why she ruled out playing an Unrivaled this year. Last season, she was non-committal about the 3-on-3 league. This year, she shut it down immediately during the WNBA season because Nike needed her available for the launch. They needed her schedule clear for appearances, media, and a tightly coordinated rollout of what could be their biggest signature athlete debut in over a decade.
Curry shit isn't, and Steph Curry's coach reposting everything, and Caitlin Clark posting Steph Curry wearing her shoes. There's plenty, because, like, again, her sneakers are literally, they are the most worn, they're the most worn sneakers in the NBA this season. Like, Caitlin's P's have been the most worn sneakers in the NBA. So at the end of the day, like, if it was that big a deal, the NBA players were wearing Caitlin Clark shoes, she would have posted more about it, or, you know, with her sneakers being first and second in the NBA.
Now here's the part that should scare every other shoe company. Steph Curry wore Caitlin Clark's PE shoe. His coach reposted it. And this wasn't some one-off publicity stunt. Caitlin Clark's PE line has quietly become the most worn signature shoe in the NBA this season. More than LeBron's, more than Jordan's, more than KD's. NBA players are actively choosing a WNBA player's signature shoe over every other option available to them. That has never happened in basketball history. When male professionals choose to compete in a women's signature shoe, it's not a feel-good headline. It's a seismic shift in how the market values women's basketball as a product.
That Caitlin's everywhere. The shoe is everywhere. And it's going to be Nike's biggest sneaker launch for a new signature athlete probably since being a signature athlete really matters. Since it hasn't mattered that much. Like, the launch of the Giannis shoe, who's been their best athlete they've had, wasn't that big. Their launch of the Luka shoe, because he was with Jordan Brand. Their launch of even the Bookers, the Jazz, the Kyrie ones, which were great.
And this is what makes the launch so critical to Nike's entire business model. Signature athletes are expensive. You're paying tens of millions a year to stars like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Devin Booker, and Jason Tatum. The problem Nike has been running into is that none of those launches have created a true cultural moment that justifies the investment anymore. Giannis's signature debut was solid but modest. Luka Doncic's line, even under the Jordan Brand umbrella, never broke through beyond hardcore sneaker circles. Even Kyrie's line, despite producing elite performance shoes, failed to translate into sustained mass-market appeal. Caitlin Clark is different. This isn't just about basketball fans. It's about casual sports viewers, women who have never bought basketball shoes before, and parents buying sneakers for daughters who want to be like Caitlin. Nike is betting that signature athletes still matter, but only when they transcend the sport itself.
There's a lot of sports where there's no signature athletes, and Nike are doing just fine in those sports. So I think the true value of a signature athlete is going to come down to Caitlin Clark. I do think Caitlin Clark is going to be I think she's going to be one of the last two female signature athletes. My guess for signature sneaker, is that one of Paige Beckers or Juju Watkins is going to get a signature sneaker. I think both of them are signed to deals. By the way, as far as I'm aware, Juju signed to a bigger deal than Caitlin Clark, but it's not a guaranteed signature sneaker. She's just going to be getting her she's going to be the face of a line. She's going to be like the face of Nike are going to have like a generic sneaker where she's going to be the face of.
So let's talk about what comes next for women's basketball signature deals. Caitlin Clark has her own line. Aya Wilson has hers with Nike. Sabrina Ionescu's signature has already proven to be a commercial success. Then there's the next generation, Paige Buchers and Juju Watkins, both locked into major endorsement deals. Juju's Nike deal is actually larger than Caitlin's initial contract. But here's the key difference. There's no guaranteed signature shoe. Instead, she's positioned as the face of a high-level performance line. It's similar to what Nike did early on with Blake Griffin, making him the face of Hyperdunk rather than committing to a full signature line as a rookie. That was a hedge, and in Blake's case, it ended up being the right call. Nike appears to be taking the same approach with Juju. High visibility, exclusive colorways, but no dedicated line yet. That lane is being held for Paige, or whoever ultimately proves to be the bigger cultural draw. And right now, based on unrivaled viewership and social media engagement, Paige is steadily making that case.
Happened. And Caitlin's got nothing to do, Aja, Sabrina. I think one of Juju or Paige, whichever one of them ends up being the bigger draw, I think it could very well be Paige. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm looking at unrivaled numbers. I'm looking at everything, and I'm like, nowhere near Caitlin level in terms of hype, but like, Paige, there is a level of hype there with Paige. There genuinely is. So I can see that happening. And get her getting a signature sneaker, and then like Juju maybe being the face of a generic line, because they have some generic lines as well, because they have so many non-signature athletes and they can't just.
What makes the timing of this Nike visit so fascinating is what's happening in the background. The WNBA is deep in CBA negotiations that could realistically shut down the entire 2025 season. Players are openly threatening to sit out, and the league and the Players Association are billions of dollars apart on revenue sharing. And yet, Nike is moving forward with this launch as if none of that exists. That tells you they either know something the public doesn't, or they're confident enough to bet through the uncertainty. If the CBA gets resolved in February, it wouldn't be surprising to see the shoe reveal within 48 hours, with Nike riding the wave of positive momentum from the league continuing. But if negotiations drag into March or April, Nike will still release the shoe anyway, because they clearly have a backup plan in place.
Situation for her during her rookie season, but hopefully that's all kind of been put to bed, and we get to see the sneaker soon. My guess is that the launch of the Caitlin Clark shoe is going to be sometime in the next I think we will see what it looks like in the next 6 weeks. I think maybe Nike don't want to announce the shoe and release the shoe during.
That backup plan is the FIBA World Cup qualifiers in March. Team USA has qualifying games on the schedule, and Caitlin Clark is on the roster. Even if the WNBA season doesn't happen, Caitlin will still be playing high-level competitive basketball on an international stage. That's likely when we see the shoe for the first time. She'll debut it in a Team USA game. Nike will drop the official images at the same moment. Pre-orders will go live immediately, and the rollout will hit all at once. It's the same playbook Nike uses for its biggest signature launches, except this time the athlete is a second-year WNBA player. That alone shows how much confidence Nike has in Caitlin Clark's market power.
If the CBA starts dragging into March and April, I think they're going to release the shoe anyway. But the thing is, like, it's one of those things where they would probably want to see Caitlin play in the shoe before it's released worldwide. And Team USA. Oh no, I'm an idiot. It's going. The first time we're going to see it is going to be during World Cup qualifiers. World Cup qualifiers in March when Team USA are playing their first set of games. So they're going to be playing their first set of games, and it's going to be during that. I'm a dumbass. Like, that's obviously when the shoes, sneakers.
What went wrong in year one makes a contrast almost shocking. During Caitlin Clark's rookie season, Nike barely promoted her, despite having the biggest draw in women's basketball history. Someone pulling nearly 3 million viewers for regular season WNBA games. There were no billboards, no major ad campaigns, no effort to make her the centerpiece of their WNBA marketing. The reason was obvious. Nike was afraid of backlash from other players under contract. Aya Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, and dozens of others were Nike athletes, and there was an unspoken fear that going all in on Caitlin would alienate everyone else. So Nike played it safe, muted her visibility, and let her rookie season pass without leveraging her star power. From a business standpoint, it was a massive missed opportunity. But something changed after the season ended. Maybe the ratings data, maybe the sell-through numbers on her PE shoes, maybe watching other brands profit off Caitlin-adjacent hype while Nike hesitated. Whatever it was, Nike made a clear decision. This signature launch would be treated like a major cultural event, the debut of a generational athlete who transcends her sport. That's what the Nike headquarters visit represents. Nike announcing they're done playing it safe and are putting Caitlin front and center, even if it upsets people, because the business case is too strong to ignore. This moment also forces the WNBA to confront a fear it's carried for years. The league has long struggled with how to market individual stars without creating resentment, leaning into a team league mentality that was as much about fear as solidarity. Fear that one player getting too big would create division or disrupt the collective identity. Caitlin Clark shatters that model. You can't hide your biggest star to protect feelings. You can't mute your most marketable athlete because of potential backlash. The market doesn't care about internal politics. It rewards what sells, and Caitlin Clark sells. This shoe launch is shaping up to be Nike's biggest signature debut since the Kyrie 1, possibly bigger. Pre-orders are likely to crash sites. The first colorway will sell out in minutes, and resale prices will spike immediately. Everyone who claimed the WNBA couldn't support signature athlete deals will be forced to reconsider. What makes it complicated is that Caitlin didn't ask for any of this. She's not demanding special treatment or campaigning to be the face of the league. She's just playing basketball at a level that creates organic demand. Still, she'll carry the resentment that comes with that visibility. Facing criticism and scrutiny previous stars never did simply because she disrupts a comfortable narrative the league has held for decades. Nike is betting none of that matters. They're betting casual fans, first-time buyers, and young girls who see themselves in Caitlin will drive sales regardless of league politics. When the shoe drops in March, watch the reaction and the numbers closely. If Nike's bet pays off, this changes everything. Not just for Caitlin or Nike, but for how women's sports stars are marketed going forward. This is the test case, the moment that answers whether a women's basketball player can be marketed on the same level as the biggest male athletes in the world. And based on everything we've already seen, the answer feels pretty clear. The real question is whether everyone else is ready to accept it.